Alrighty, everybody, welcome to Casual Sports Talk Podcast, AFC North and South Preview Edition. And now we got a gentleman right over here who is hoping he will not write any days of our Steelers for this season. Here's my special guest, Tree.
What's up, man? Good to be back on the show, and I'm praying not. I mean, especially with Aaron Rodgers the last couple days. It's been fun.
Yes.
42-year-old Aaron Rodgers. Let's go.
They're going to win a Super Bowl, right?
9-8 Super Bowl. Let's go.
Yes. Yes, indeed. And
right,
now
we can win the Super Bowl than the Browns and the Cowboys do.
Let's go. I'd agree with that.
How dare you? You got to troll on me with our special guest again? How dare you?
There's always room for trolling, no matter who's in our presence.
Boo. Boo you all. And now we got a gentleman right over here who said he has to go back to work to the factory of sadness. Here's Chris.
Here's that. Yeah. We got 3 more seasons at the Mistake on the Lake at Cleveland Brown Stadium until we move more inland to a city called Brook Park. So I'm excited for the Brown season this year. Well, excited to see how many wins we can possibly get. Yeah.
Well, question is, how are you feeling without Myles Garrett? Because I know Jared Verse is a pretty good player, but he's not the caliber of a Myles Garrett.
Well, Myles Garrett, what's his age?
He's like 30, I believe.
30. Jared Verse is 25. I do believe that as well. But yeah, anyways, to answer your question more directly, I'm excited for it. We got a couple draft picks out of it. Jared Verse, I mean, he might not be Myles Garrett's at the same level, but hopefully we could develop him into a Myles Garrett-esque type player. So yeah, I mean, we all know the Rams have the highest odds to win the Super Bowl. But yeah, hats off to Myles Garrett for an incredible season with the Browns. I want to see him excel, and hopefully he can win it with the Rams. But then, yeah, I'm still excited to see what Verse can do here in Cleveland.
Yeah, I guess we'll see how it goes. And then, like I said, we got our other guest right over here. The man who's hoping that the Lions don't lion. Here's Douglas.
No, Stu, this is our year for sure. This is it.
No. Sorry.
Gonna pay Jahmyr Gibbs.
Nope.
I actually really think the Lions have a good shot this year. The schedule lines up nice. They got some players coming back. All they need is some good luck on the help line. We'll be all right.
Yeah, I guess we'll see how that goes right over here. So, gentlemen, as always, we got to do our 1 through 10. So our gimmick, as always, from last year and this year, is we got to do a 1 through 10 ranking, which we'll start out with number 1, which is the trash. This season is over. It might be the Cleveland Browns or the Tennessee Titans. Just saying. The teams that are going to get the number 1 or number 2 overall pick, as always. And 2 is always those bad teams that have a 5% chance of making the playoffs, maybe even 3. So, like the Giants. And then the 3s are usually those mid-bad teams right over there. They're just bad, can't win games. Probably I put the Saints on there. And then those mid teams, unfortunately, is my Cowboys. Why we got to be mid? I don't like this. I want to be Super Bowl. I'm just saying. But we're so far. We're always mid. And then football hell and worst division. Last year we put it as the Ravens, which is like teams that are not good enough to make the playoffs, but are not shitty enough to get a good draft pick. And as always, we're going to switch it when we get to the 6 and 10. Ours is very much different, which is basically 6. You made the playoffs. You're 1 and done and out. Somehow it's your Steelers, Tree. I'm sorry.
It's like between a 5 and a 6. That's usually how it goes.
Yeah. But no 6-7 on this one.
Oh, thank God. Every announcer ran that into the ground next year because it's just if I have to hear Jonathan Vilma say 6-7 ever again to try and appeal to Gen Z, I am going to rip my head off. I swear to God. It's bad.
We do want that. Can we take that to the grave and just go right over there? And then 7, we got the teams that made the playoffs. They're 1 and done. They make the playoffs, and then they win it, but then they're out. The Texans is probably a good example of this one. Making the AFC and NFC championship, I would always say the Broncos, the Rams were good 8s right over here. 9 was the Patriots making that Super Bowl, and the Seattle Seahawks were that 10 that were winning the Super Bowl, but we're probably not going to have any 10s in the preseason because it's very darn hard to be guaranteed a Lombardi. on this one right over here. So we're going to start out with the first and the worst on the mistake of the lake, the Cleveland Browns.
Go. I embrace it, Stu. Mistake on the lake.
So
Cleveland Clowns. Let's do it.
yes, the Cleveland Clowns, who have been an absolute disaster, tire fire, failure, factory of sadness, every bad thing that you can think of the Cleveland Browns. Last year, they couldn't figure out what a quarterback was. They put in 3 quarterbacks, and they were still dog shit. But they did have Shedeur Sanders as a Pro Bowler, so just always remember that. Right, Chris?
The Pro Bowls is a joke this day and age. No one really like back when we had like the throw-offs back in Hawaii when quarterbacks would actually compete against each other and wide receivers were still competitions. The Pro Bowl means nothing. I mean, you have Matthew Stafford, who had a career year, and then not make the Pro Bowl, and then Shedeur Sanders to make it. Yeah,
you also have a bunch of guys who deny invitations to the Pro Bowl. That's what happened to a bunch of players as well. That's why they went to Shedeur Sanders, because they're not doing it because of his numbers. His numbers, even his deep analytics, are terrible. But you're doing it because he'll draw attention from people. That's all it is.
What I'm hearing is $250 million guaranteed.
Oh, God.
Hey, Deshaun Watson is probably starting in a month. Just you watch.
Oh, yes. And speaking, I figured we got to probably show a clip right over here of Deshaun Watson kind of talking about how he feels about Cleveland, maybe getting, I would say, maybe right over here, an extension right over here. I figured I would show this one.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I heard he owns a house on the east side of Cleveland.
Yes. Yes, this beautiful clip right over here. Thank you, Tree, for sending me this.
Is he moving on up to the east side? The deluxe apartment in the sky?
There's a lot of stuff going on, as the world knows. But I don't have no bad feeling towards Cleveland. I love Cleveland. Me and my wife, we got our house on the east side, so we here all the time. We're here this summer. You ask around, like, pretty much all the restaurants, I'm hanging out. So I haven't had a bad experience outside of different times in the stadium. But,
yeah, I mean, east side of Cleveland, there's a lot of nice neighborhoods on the east side of Cleveland.
We finally got a piece of the pie.
Enjoying our time here, and yeah, that opportunity shows up. We'll see where it goes.
Last year when you weren't playing, you were still in meeting and helping Gabriel and Sanders in their rookie year. What does Shedeur look like now, the year after?
Yeah, he's definitely improved. He's grown a lot. You can see within his fundamentals, his reads.
Improved.
He called the plays, so you can tell he's a lot more comfortable, and that he's been putting in the work to be able to be where he is right now. Thank you, guys.
Yes, at least they're improving, right? Right, Chris? Everything's fine, right?
I mean, I don't know about improvements, but
Deepest quarterback room in the NFL. That's what I'm seeing.
But at least we'll start out with you, Chris. What do you think the Browns are going to be this year?
I mean, I'm projecting them to be 5-12.
Yep.
Jared Verse, he's gonna have his eyes open with this. He's gonna come from LA with the Rams, Super Bowl contender, always in the playoffs, and then he's gonna come to Cleveland and be like, okay, wow, this organization really is a mess. Hopefully he sticks with the Browns. But yeah, Browns 5-12. And what's the normal number for a 5-12 team? Was that a 3?
Yeah. Are you thinking a 3? Are you thinking they're going to be in that 5 and 8 in the draft?
I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if we see them even 4 and what that mean, make them 4-13 next season, and possibly getting a top 3 pick.
I think you have to remember too. Jim Schwartz is gone. He got pissed off that Tom Munkin was picked over him. So Munkin had a lot of issues in Baltimore. There was a potential clash between him and Lamar. So I'm not sure that giving him the head coaching gig was any good. But at the same time, losing Myles Garrett, losing the architect of that defense, I think there's going to be a step back. And I know Cleveland doesn't want to hear that, but you do have some receivers that could be something. Denzel Boston, KC Concepcion. I mean, yeah, as I said, Harold Fannin could take a step up, but you're still overhauling that offensive line. Maua Noah will take some time to develop. You've lost a few pieces in free agency. Batonio, I believe, is gone. Teller's gone. Jedrick Wills, he's still dealing with the injury issues. So I'm going to give them a 2. I don't think it's going to be a good year. It's going to be the lolcow team again.
So what are you thinking record-wise for the Browns?
Like 4-12. No, like best case scenario, maybe they overachieve, be 7-10. But that would be like.
Let's not go that. Let's not go that.
That's what I mean. Best case scenario. Worst case scenario, you're looking like 2-14, 3-13.
Well, I live in the best case scenario, gentlemen. I was thinking 7-10.
No! What? How can you be
defense is
optimistic?
pretty good.
I mean, Stu, I've seen the quarterback room. Denzel Ward's the highest paid corner in the league, I believe, again. Unbelievable.
We love paying our guys, dude. You want to make money in the NFL but not win Super Bowls or anything important? Yeah, come to Cleveland.
I'll give them a solid 4. I think they'll win some games they shouldn't.
No. There's no hope. How?
What is hope? I don't know what hope is.
Yeah. What is hope? But anyway, Douglas, where do you think their record's going to be?
7-10.
7-10. I can't wait when we get done with the eulogy for the Cleveland Clowns, and I'm just going to be like, Doug, I told you so. This team is dog shit, as always, and there's no hope. There is no optimism. I even remember when Tree last year you gave the Browns a 2, and it so feels like nothing has changed. Everything is fine.
They're stuck. They're stuck. That's the problem, because they had to get rid of Kevin Stefanski, but now it turned into Shedeur Sanders, who's apparently being that's a conspiracy against him, but he's fucking terrible. So what do you want me to say here? Now they're at the point where Deshaun Watson is probably starting again. His shoulder's a mess, and his Achilles got torn. I mean, his speed was the last thing he had, and there's just nothing left. You've traded Myles Garrett, so that was the big piece of your defense. It was a really good defense, but at the same time, the offense could just do literally nothing. They couldn't move the ball.
Wait a minute. What's
one step forward and 2 steps back. No one ever gets far like that.
Moving this ball from here to here, that is more movement than the Cleveland Browns had most drives.
You know,
I can't believe I agree with a Steelers fan, but this is speaking the truth right now.
Mason Graham is about to he's about to tear it up. That's the reason right there. Michigan man.
He's a good player. I'm not going to deny that. You also have Carson Schlesinger, who's a really good linebacker in his own right.
Yep.
But yes, as always, the
But
Browns.
I don't trust the offense.
Yeah, I don't trust the offense. Indeed, in this one.
I don't trust anything with the Browns, but hey, let's go Browns. I'll be going to their games this season.
Yes. And speaking of teams that I don't really trust right over here, the Cincinnati Bengals, where their defense was fucking atrocious. Joe Burrow got hurt, and let's be honest, it was the defense the reason why they didn't make the postseason. It was not because Joe Burrow got hurt. They did get Dexter Lawrence, from the Giants, but we'll see. So we'll start with you, Douglas. How do you feel about the Cincinnati Bengals? And is there any hope for this defense?
Well, as we know, this is called Casual Sports Talk Podcast. But as I was thinking about this division, I like them to win this division this year. I think just the pieces fall in place for them. I'm going to be optimistic and go with a 7. We'll go 11-6 as the record. I think things fall in place for them, and Joe Burrow has an MVP year.
What?
This is a lot of optimism.
I don't know if I would have any optimism on this one, but good for you, Douglas, even though I'm just like, I've seen this story before.
Well,
I'm just saying.
We got to make it polarizing. Last year we agreed on every single team, and it was boring. This year we got to have differing opinions, and this is where I apparently differ.
I mean, you can have differing opinions, but is the correct opinion? No.
Dude, Joe Burrow's probably a top 3 or 4 quarterback in the NFL. You got Jamar, you got Dexter Lawrence, you got pieces there. We'll see. Maybe they stay healthy and do it.
All right.
Dexter Lawrence bounced back, though. He had a little bit of a down year last year.
Yeah, that is true on that one. But I guess we'll start with you, Tree. do you have any hope that the Bengals are going to do it, or is this the same old Bengals that we've seen year on year, where Joe Burrow gets hurt and they're just like, oh, that's the reason why, and even though they don't do anything with their defense?
Their defense is generationally bad, and they haven't really done a whole lot to improve it. They've done some things, but at the same time, Shamar Stewart's dealing with injury. You lost Trey Hendrickson. You're still dealing with questions in your secondary and your defense. You didn't fire anybody. You still have Zach Taylor, who I think is a terrible head coach. So I'm going to give them – the offense is going to keep them in games, but it's going to be like the mid-2010 Saints. It's going to be 41-38 shootouts. I give them a 5. I think they're just going to miss the playoffs, and it's going to be like a game or two where their defense lets them down.
Oh, and are you thinking the 8-9 or 9-8?
Like 8-9, 9-8. Yeah, around there, I would say.
Oh, my goodness, Tree. Like, man, I just feel so disappointed. I feel like they're wasting this man's career. They are wasting that man's career. Like, Joe Burrow should be in a better team.
And Jamar Chase, they're wasting his too.
Yeah, I was about to say we're wasting these men's career because there's multiple guys that they're wasting their career. Yeah, Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow.
No, y'all won't be saying that in 5 months.
No, we will not.
Yeah,
we're gonna have the
division, like Doug said.
Mark my words. Week 16, week 15, we will have a eulogy for the Bengals, and I'm gonna be like, Douglas, who was right? Who was right?
So you give me a division with Aaron Rodgers still regressing, Shador Sanders flash, Deshaun Watson, and I don't know what's going on with the Ravens. I'm going to take the Bengals. I like it. I like it a lot.
But do you remember that defense where it was fucking atrocious? Don't get me started about that Bears game where they were just like collapse on that one. I'm just saying. This is just the same old Bengals right now the last few years.
New season, Stu. Brand new season. Joe Burrow's been training with Bryce Underwood, too, so they're both going to learn from each other, and both going to have amazing years.
Yes. But I still have to agree with you, Tree. And I when we did our addendum, why didn't the Bengals, like, fire their coach? Like, everybody else did.
They're cheap.
Yeah.
They're cheap. That's why.
Like who cares the guy made it to the Super Bowl? What have you done with me lately? That's what I would say.
Not even that. They did it just in spite of Zach Taylor and Mike Brown. So, still have Duke Tobin as your GM. He hasn't really assessed talent that well, besides just the easy picks. But at the same time, I find it hard to believe that they were a drive away from winning a Super Bowl.
Could you imagine them when they win that Super Bowl? But let's start with you, Chris. Do you have any hope?
I'm going to say they're going to go 10-7.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Like Tree said, their offense is going to keep them in games. Like whether they're going to win 41-30 or because maybe adding Dexter Lawrence might help them. I don't know.
Who's rushing the quarterback though?
What's that?
Who's rushing the quarterback though?
True. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I mean Bengals. I'd say give them a 6. I think they'll be a wild card team.
No.
This might be the season they made it to the Super Bowl. Might be the season that you maybe like, okay, we're not going to waste the career of Burrow and Chase. Okay,
I'm gonna put Douglas, Chris, $5 bet. Bengals will not make a postseason.
I'm not going to say that. I was on the verge of giving them a 5. Realistically, I don't see him doing it, but there's something inside me that says, okay, let's be a little optimistic. No, I'm not going to shake on it now. Oh, unless you and Doug are going to do it.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm sold.
I just don't. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm just going to wait when I'm going to be correct, and it's going to happen. And Douglas, you're going to be wrong. And Tree, I'll just be like, we were right. I was right the whole time. Same old. But now we're done with the Bengals right over here. Now we got to talk about the Baltimore Ravens right over here, who somehow does the same old mistakes of just losing games, blowing leads against the Bills, and one kick that basically somehow the Steelers made it to the playoffs. Is there any hope now that they have a new coach right now, or is Lamar kind of washed at this point?
I feel like it's a lateral move. They were content with staying with Mike Tomlin, but he chose to step down after the playoff game. You're looking at a team that hasn't won a playoff game in a decade, yet they fancy themselves as true contenders, which is why you brought in Mike McCarthy, and I feel like a lot of it has to do with the fact of him being local. But the reality is, at the same time, you're trusting everything to 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers, which, I mean, was the best option available in the market for their situation. But he couldn't do anything against elite defenses last year. So you're in a situation now. It's coming out said, "Oh, I had the flu against the Texans." Like, okay, cool. What happened to the Browns? What happened with the Bills, the Chargers? There are a bunch of games where you just lied down to die against elite defenses. Did you have the flu against those games? Like, guess what? I'm terrible at sports. Do I have the flu every time I go out? Fuck no. But the problem is, they do have like some like intrigue. Their offensive line might be developing. They have a decent two-headed running back room. They might have finally solved that number 2 wide receiver spot. But I'm not a crazy Michael Pittman fan, but I'm okay with him as a number 2. Defensively, you do have some questions. Cam Hayward's 38. Watt had the worst season of his career. He's going to be 32. You have Alex Highsmith is probably going to be his last year. Nick Herbig, you extended, pure pass rusher. Inside linebacker, you've got huge questions. Patrick Queen he's been okay, but he hasn't been what you'd expect. Joey Porter Jr. is in the final year of his deal, so he could be gone. And at safety, okay, you have Jalen Ramsey, Jaquan Brisker. Hopefully he stays healthy. Jamel Dean as a cornerback number 2. So you're just banking on, okay, like maybe it's Mike Tomlin. Like he needed to go. But at the same time, it just feels like they haven't really done enough. They're just still trying to tread the tires and spin the wheels and go back on the carousel. So I'm expecting the same thing. Like maybe best case scenario, 10-7, make a playoff game and then get blown out by a real team. So I would give them either a 5 or a 6.
Yeah, I think for the Steelers. I think for the Pittsburgh.
Their floor is their ceiling. That's the problem.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty much their ceiling right over here. I feel like I feel like I can probably put Pittsburgh. That's going to be either. So you're thinking the 6 right over here for the Mr.
5
Steelers.
or 6, like 5 or 6, I would say around there. That's what they've been for pretty much the last 8 years.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're definitely thinking making the playoffs and then getting their ass kicked in the postseason always.
Pretty much.
As always.
Yeah, that's best case scenario. But at the same time, it's just, okay, cool. How long can you keep up the charade? Because it's quite obvious. It's not the fans that are like spoiled. I feel like the organization's completely delusional. And I'm sitting here like, we've been over this years and years. We have empirical evidence that says you aren't there, but they still think they are. That's the issue.
Yeah, and especially when they always think about, well, we got Mike McCarthy. He's a local boy. We're going to do well. And I'm like,
well, Mike McCarthy, I was never a fan of his. I thought he was extremely overrated. He got carried by Rodgers. And I think the thing is, like, they're trying to promote it as like, oh, he's a new coach, but it's just like, it's a lateral move. It feels like it's the same thing. It's just what he represents. It's just the same shit.
Yeah, it's like the same bullshit. Nothing changes. It's like, why? Why?
Well, because it's just how the Steelers run things. Just what it is.
It's just what it is in this one. And then we're going to start with you, Christopher. As the rival of the Pittsburgh Steelers, are they going to make a postseason or are they going to just miss it, as always? Or are they just going to make a postseason and then get their ass kicked in the postseason?
I mean, Tree, you said that Steelers, they haven't won a playoff game in 10 years.
Yep. Last time they won was, I believe, 2017, January, against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah, Alex Smith was their quarterback. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, I mean, for me, as Steelers, I'm going to say they're going to be 9-8, 8-9. I could still see them being 9-8, though. I mean, they haven't had a losing record. And is that record still going on of them not having a losing record? How many years has that been going on?
Yeah, I have no idea. The problem is they've had a lot of 8-8, 9-7, 9-8 records in that time. So
so too close, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of technicalities.
Yeah, I feel like it has been past 20 years at this point.
I think so. Last one was 2003, I believe. But sometimes you need to step back to move forward, and the Steelers don't want to do that.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mike McCarthy's still going to do it. They're going to be 9-8. I still think they're going to make the playoffs, but I mean, in in true Steelers fashion, they might lose. Well, put me at a 6. They'll make the playoffs. But yeah, in Steelers fashion of the past decade almost, they'll probably lose in the first round.
They'll probably get blown out, and we're just like, well, back to the same old shit.
Yeah, like you said, Aaron Rodgers just lays down, metaphorically, obviously. But
It's going to be a lot of drama, and that's why I was hoping he would kind of step down, because it was like kind of like Russell Wilson in 24. Like there were flashes of what he was, but like the overall, it just wasn't the same. Like there was a lot of wear and tear on the body, and he couldn't elevate against elite teams.
Yeah, and I mean, but aren't you excited for another year of Aaron Rodgers? It's going to be.
No.
It's going
No.
So
It's like 2021 Big Ben Redux. No. And I thought this last year. It's like, please, let's stop this.
Oh my
Like
god.
we're repeating shit now. It's like, are we kidding?
I will say,
as a Steelers fan, as a Browns fan, this is great to hear. Like, yeah, obviously Aaron Rodgers is no longer in his prime, and us Browns fans were done with Watson, so it seems like we're all in the same boat. But you guys have a little bit higher talent on your team compared to the Browns over here.
Yeah, I think the thing is, like, I see a lot of the Pirates in the Browns. Like, they're just long time terrible, a lot of mismanagement, a lot of futility. You have that one blip of success, and then it immediately goes to shit. So I'm kind of getting that vibe.
yeah. Now, Douglas, is there any hope? Do you have the Steelers?
I am less optimistic than my other guest here. Like I just don't see Rodgers having it anymore. Like I think he was a below average quarterback last year, and there's no reason that another year older is going to get him closer to decent. Yeah, I don't know. I have a hard time envisioning it. I mean, I'm going to go like a 7 and 10 and a 4-ish personally. Like I don't see them as a playoff team. Maybe I'm wrong. I seem to have this division opposite of you gentlemen.
Honestly, that might be for the best. But the sad part is the Steelers won't see it that way.
No. My prediction, I think they're going to be 5 or 6. I either think they're going to miss the playoffs, but like barely, or they make the playoffs, and then it's just like you get your ass kicked again, same old story, and then everyone's going to be like, "Well, we are successful. We made a postseason." Yeah,
well, the organization's going to see it as that. But the thing too is, if you actually look at a lot of the recent playoffs, it's because other teams self-destructed. Because if you think about 21, it's because Jacksonville self-destructed, or Indianapolis self-destructed in Duval. 23, it's because Jacksonville self-destructed against Tennessee. Last year, it was because of heinous ref ball in the first Baltimore game. There was ref ball in the Detroit game where it was treated as like a half pick, half interference on a touchdown. And then Tyler Loop missed a straight shot field goal. So that's why you won the division. That's why you made a playoff spot.
Same old Steelers. They just win the division by like doing nothing, and then when they play the real team.
It was a perfect storm. It was all according to Kaku. I mean, Lamar was hurt for a while. The Ravens fell apart. Burrow got hurt. The Browns were the Browns. So it was just like, okay, they're going to delude themselves into thinking they're good. And then you play like elite teams and you just get the shit smacked out of you.
You know, I mean, I was just thinking through the AFC, and like I can't think of too many quarterbacks that I would take Aaron Rodgers over in the entire AFC right now. Like maybe what's going on in Cleveland, maybe what's going on in Las Vegas.
Well, Las Vegas still, you're hoping for like Fernando Mendoza to eventually take the reins.
Exactly, and if he's as good as he might be, even that one's tricky.
I think he'll at least have a floor. I think he'll at least have a decent floor. So I don't know about his upside. That's the question.
Yeah, I guess we'll see how that goes for this team indeed. And then we got
Smith, sorry guys, was Geno Smith the starter for the Jets?
Yes. He's gonna bring him back to the promised land.
I was trying to think, I'm like, oh my gosh, like maybe I would take Rodgers over the starter for the Jets. And it's Geno Smith.
Kirk Cousins.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I can't believe it. He's still in the league, Geno Smith. Good for you. And then we got to talk about the Baltimore Ravens, where we got one less hardball, missing the playoffs, choking right over there. Lamar kind of like not looking as great right there last season. So we'll start with you, Christopher. Do you think the Ravens have a shot at doing better, or is this team going to be mid?
Oh no, they're not. They're more than mid. I believe that the Ravens will win the division this year. What was I reading up on? I'm not sure, but I mean, we all know that Lamar kind of had a setback year last season. I think he's going to have a great this season. And obviously, we know Derrick Henry at the running back position. Zay Flowers. How many years did they just sign Zay Flowers to? Was it 4?
I believe so. It's a $35 million a year deal with $108 million guaranteed. I'm shocked he didn't fumble the extension papers.
Yeah, Zay Flowers, man. Like I don't really. Well, all wide receivers for the Ravens. If I was a Ravens fan or just anyone in general, I wouldn't really trust any of the wide receiver core for the Ravens. But yeah, just something inside me says that Ravens they're going to finish 12-5, 13-4. They're going to win the division. So they'll probably. I mean, I don't have the bracket or the playoff what happened last year. But yeah, I'd say that they give me a 7 because I do believe they would make it past the divisional round or the wild card round.
And then when do you think their record's going to be, Chris?
Oh, I said either 12-5 or 13-4.
Oh, we're going to go 12-5 for you.
That's what I was reading up on. Yeah, Jesse Minter. He's now the head coach for the Ravens, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I do like that.
Yes, he is. He did great work with the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he made the Chargers one of the top defenses.
Yeah, that might change my opinion slightly because I forgot about him. I'm a Michigan guy. What a good coordinator. Yeah, I don't know though. I'm not as optimistic on the Ravens, I guess, as Chris though. Like I think they're a playoff team, but like Lamar had a down year. Derrick Henry's getting older. Like I think Zay Flowers is a tad overrated. Like I don't know how. Like he's good, but he's not like that much money good. I don't think. But maybe I'm missing something. Like I'll go with a 6, 10-7, 6 range.
That's an interesting. So you're going 10-7 right over here for the Ravens. And now we got to start with you, Tree. As the rivals to the Ravens, will they do better than the Steelers, or do you think they're going to do worse?
I have no idea. I think the thing is the Ravens have always frustrated me as a team because they do have Super Bowl potential, but they always got in their own way. They would repeatedly blow double-digit leads. They would fall apart at the worst possible times, even against the Steelers. I'm sitting there like, how are you losing to the Steelers? They kept continually self-destructing in so many aspects. When they finally played a potential, you think, okay, this is the time. And then they fall apart in January. And it just doesn't matter what or where. It just happens. So can you guarantee me that Mark Andrews is going to return to form? Can you guarantee me that Lamar will stay healthy, especially with his legs that really limited him last year? Can you guarantee me the defense is going to return? Because Zach Orr was terrible. Like his defense was a mess. Roquan Smith didn't have an impact play all year. He's nothing but a tackle merchant. The corners had issues last year. Awuzie was kind of iffy. Like Jair Alexander didn't work out. So, and Nnamdi Madubuike, who knows what happens with him? Is he coming back or is he still having issues with his neck? And offensive line, like Daniel Fa'alele, the fact that he's gone is addition by subtraction. I think they do win the division. I just don't see them going further. So I'm going to give them a 6. I think they lose in the wild card.
Oh, and then what are you feeling their record's going to be?
I'd say like 10-7.
Yeah, I kind of do agree. I feel like that this team is probably going to be like one and done. I do think if I had to put my gun to my head, who's going to win this division is probably going to be the Ravens. I just feel like the default of like I don't trust the Bengals. I definitely don't trust the Browns and the Steelers. And they're like the best mid team ever at this point. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like
Steelers the best quarterback in this division.
Oh, God. I guess it would be Joe Burrow.
Hey, Doug, this is the MVP season for Mr. Burrow.
Yes. It's just if they had a defense, if the defense did something, like, I guess I would have to pick it right there. And then, like, God, maybe Lamar 3, and then Lamar 2, then Rodgers 3, and then, God, Deshaun Watson. Oh, no. Dead last on this one. And speaking of teams that were kind of ass, we got to talk about the Tennessee Titans, who last year they were pretty dog shit. And Cam Ward always said one word about this team, and he said ass. We're ass. And so we'll start with you, Douglas. Is this team going to continue to be ass, or is there hope?
Well, so here's where my hope comes from. It's a really weird concept. I've been playing Madden, And every time in Madden, Cam Ward develops into a superstar quarterback. So maybe Madden knows something, and they see Cam Ward as a future high-level starter. I don't see it yet. So this is only year two. There's still some hiccups. I view this team as kind of like I'll be generous with like a nice 5-12, and I'll give them a score of a 3.
Yeah, I think probably that's going to. So you think there's going to be at least some improvement for the Tennessee Titans right over here, Douglas?
Yeah, I think they'll take a small step forward, but it's not going to be, they're not going to really compete for a playoff spot or anything.
Yes. Now we'll start with you, Tree. Is this team still going to be ass?
I think at least getting some real coaching will help out. I think Robert Saleh and Brian Dable back as an offensive coordinator, I think will help out a ton. Cam Ward was getting into some really bad habits, I think, because there was just no direction. There was no one to throw to. He just had Van Jefferson. I think Carnell Tate will definitely help out there. But the question is, what's going to happen with everything else? Like, is Jeffrey Simmons, is he going to have enough after a while? I think there's still a lot of building to be done, and I think they will have some progress. But at the same time, I think it's still going to be another year or two before they're ready. So I give them a 3 or 4 as well.
Oh, and you're thinking that 5-12 also?
Yeah, I would say around that. Maybe 6 and 11.
Oh, we'll put you at the 6-11 right over there on that one. And Chris, do you have any hope for the
I gave the Browns 5-12, gave them a 3. I'd probably put the Tennessee Titans right there. Give them a 3, 5-12, 4-13 possibly. Tennessee Titans kind of like the Browns. It seems like it just needs a little bit of a rebuild. Except for the Titans might be one step ahead of the Browns.
But hey, at least the good news is they're going to get a new stadium, even though it's going to be paid by the taxpayers. Yay! And it won't be obsolete in 25 years. But now we got one down. We got to talk about the Colts. Man, there was a tale of 2 seasons, I would always say, Tree, where they went 7-1, and then they lost all their fucking games after a certain point.
They lost all their key players. I expected them to go around 8-9. I did not expect it to be like that.
No. Like I always said it, they can't win in Duval, and I guess they'll get injured in Duval in that one. So we'll start with you, Tree. Is there any hope, would you say?
Maybe. It depends. Daniel Jones is apparently cleared for practice, but is he going to be back to 100%, especially with his mobility being a strength? I think, like Jonathan Taylor, they're going to be rallying on him for a lot. I know Alec Pierce got paid a lot of money. I don't know if I agree with that per se, but I think they're a well-rounded team. The question is it going to be enough to really get past, say, a Jacksonville or someone along those lines? Because the AFC South is wide open again. So I think it's going to be around the same. I think there's a chance for 9-8, maybe 10-7. So I would give them probably a wild card spot. Probably give them a 6.
Ooh, that's and then a 10-7 right over there, Tree. Would you agree for the Colts? Alrighty. I cannot believe. I'm actually going to surprise in that one. I probably would put them in the 5, to be honest with you. I feel like this is kind of still.
It's in between. It's in between.
Yeah. I'll be probably putting them more in the 5. But what about you, Christopher? Do you think the Indianapolis Colts and the power of Daniel Jones, can they do well?
Didn't they start the season, 6-1, 7-1 last
7-1.
7-1, and then lost 3.
Daniel Jones got injured, correct me if I'm wrong?
I think they lost 3 games in a row, and then they lost to Jacksonville and Duval, and then he got hurt, and then they just collapsed.
Gotcha, but he'll be Daniel Jones will be back this season, correct?
Yes, he will be back this season.
I think they're going to have the same magic as last season. Maybe not start 7-1. Because, I remember on a couple of our podcasts last season, we're like, oh, yeah, these Colts, man, they're looking dominating. And then, obviously, things don't always turn out as they started. But, yeah, they finished 8-9 last season after a 7-1 start. I'd probably say, at least give them 9 wins here, 9-8. I'd probably say give them a 5 though. To make the wild card or make the playoffs for the AFC, you gotta have at least 10 wins for sure.
Yeah, on this one. Yeah, I guess I probably more agreeing with Chris on this one. And now we'll start with you, Douglas.
Man, there's a lot of really interesting divisions this year, and this is definitely one of them. Like the whole time I was kind of going between those three teams: Jacksonville, Houston, Indianapolis, and I was like, I have a hard time picking a pecking order there because like we see moments of brilliance from each. When Daniel Jones was healthy, they might have been the best team in the NFL to start the season last year. It's like, but then I've seen what Houston's defense can do. We saw, I mean, I think me and Tree had both kind of picked Jacksonville to maybe make a run at the Super Bowl last year. But then they got through the Bills the first round and got unlucky there. And so it's like this division is wide open.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to go with Chris. Like I think they'll just miss the playoffs. I think the Achilles will slow Daniel Jones down just enough. But I mean, I wouldn't be shocked to see him make a really good run and be towards be a really good team. I'll go like a 9-8 with a score of a 5.
Ooh, yeah. So you definitely agree. No postseason for you, Douglas.
I mean, I don't fully agree. Like, I wouldn't be shocked either way. Like, I'm on the fence with it. I'm just like, I think the Jaguars and the Texans both have a lot of nice pieces still, and it's a coin flip in this division for sure.
Yeah, which is so funny because like 3 years ago, it was like this division was trash, and now it's like it's changed. It changed in the dime right over there. You just get good quarterbacks and you get a good team and organizations. You can change it. You can change narratives, or your team could be dog shit like the Houslums, like the Browns, Chris, and the narrative stayed the same.
Has the narrative changed of the Cowboys the last 15 years too, or has it been same mediocrity?
How dare you? We have hope. I'm just saying. Spoiler alert, when I pick the Cowboys, I'm going to probably give them the 6. Just saying. I think they can make a postseason.
Stu, they might be the worst team in that division. Who knows?
No. I mean, the Giants are trying, but we'll discuss that when we get there. But we got the Colts that are now done. Now we got the Jacksonville Jaguars, which, you know what? This is the bounce back for Trevor Lawrence. Everyone kind of doubted him. This is the make or break. He made it this year. Did lose to the Bills in the first round, but granted, that was a close playoff game. Now we'll start with you, Tree. Can Jacksonville restore greatness and come back again?
With Jacksonville, it always tends to be really good for 1 year and then fall apart. So I feel Liam Cohen is going to keep them more in line. Question is, can Trevor Lawrence keep it up? Because he had flashes of brilliance, especially at the end of last year. But I think getting greedy, going for it on 4th down, they were unable to really get past Buffalo in the end. So I think they have the pieces. I think Bashal Tutin will be good as a number 1 running back. Can Michael Thomas come back into his own? He had some drop issues last year. I know the defense, you're going to lose Devin Lloyd. So can you replace him? I think it's possible they can. I think they do make the playoffs. I don't know if they go further than there. I'll give them a 6.
Yeah. If I had to pick, I feel like that I would agree with you on this one, Tree. I feel like that this team could make the postseason, but I think that could be probably one and done. And then what do you think their record's going to be for the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Ooh, I would probably say 10-7, 11-6 maybe.
Yeah, I feel like I would probably go with the 11-6 on this one for the Jaguars. Now we'll start with you, Christopher. Can the power of the long hair of Trevor Lawrence win a playoff game this time around?
Did he cut his hair on the offseason? I could have sworn I saw a picture. He cut it short. Anyways, it doesn't matter. They finished 13-4 last season. Heck of a ride. Didn't they? Last year they had Travis Etienne, but he's gone. He's on the Saints, right?
I believe yes.
Yeah. So like Tree said, Bashal Tutin, he's going to be their running back 1. Is he going to have as much success as Etienne? I know Etienne had a heck of a season last year. I believe in fantasy points. I know we shouldn't really range how good he is based on fantasy points, but give us some sort of metric. I think he finished like top 10, if not top 5. But yeah, I mean, they added Jacoby Myers last season. He showed up. Are they going to finish 13-4? Nah. I think they're going to finish 10-7 and then probably make a wild card, but not win the division.
Yeah, so you're thinking a good old 6 for them.
Yeah, 6 make the wild card because, like I said, in order if you're going to make the playoffs in the AFC, you got to have at least double-digit wins. So if they finish 10-7, they should be able to squeak into that wild card spot.
Yes. Yeah, I definitely do think they can squeak in right over there. And we're going to start with you, Douglas. Do you have any hope? Is Jacksonville going to repeat it?
I think they're going to win their division. Actually, I like it. I think top to bottom, I like them the most out of any team in this division. I was kind of thinking like a little bit more optimistic of like a 7 winning the division. I'm going to go with 11-6, 12-5, somewhere in that neck of the woods. Like I think, you get Travis Hunter back and hopefully healthy, even though he'll play more defense. Hopefully Brian Thomas Jr. takes the jump this year. Like they did really good and they weren't fully healthy either. So I'm kind of digging them to keep the momentum going.
Yeah, I definitely do think that if I had to pick it, I definitely think, gun to my head, Jacksonville's going to make the playoffs. They're definitely going to make the playoffs. As long as Trevor Lawrence does not get hurt, I think this team is going to be good. This team's going to make the playoffs. I think they can be consistent. And I always say it, I guess, Douglas, you gave 7, so that means 7 Duvals. As always, right over here.
Yeah, because if Trevor Lawrence gets hurt, they have Nick Mullins and then Joey Aguilar from Tennessee, the rookie. Yeah, well, hey. Yeah, like you said, sir, hopefully T-Law doesn't get hurt. Knocking on that wood.
Yes. Hopefully he does not get hurt right over here. And then finally, we got the Houston Texans, who won a playoff game and then got bounced out. And they've been 3 for 3. C.J. Stroud. Can the power, Christopher, of Buckeye Nation do it again and go 4?
I don't know if anyone else saw that video clip of C.J. Stroud walking into training camp. But, man, he looks like he put on some weight. So hopefully he can, over the course of the next month, lose some of it. But maybe he'll be back to normal form. What did they finish the division or the record at last year? Let's see, 12-5.
I believe, 12-5.
I can envision what the AFC South was. Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to finish 12-5 again? They got Woody Marks. Nick Chubb is now a free agent. I know we all know Nick Chubb wasn't really much of a playmaker, but yeah, Woody Marks, wide receiver. If Tank Dell comes back this season, Texans could make it. Like I said, Jaguars 10-7, and Texans, I believe, are going to win the division at a 12-5 record again.
They also traded for David Montgomery, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, so you're definitely thinking 12-5, and then what would you say? What's your number? Would you say?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna give them a 7. Yeah, they're gonna win. They're gonna make it past the wild card round, make it to the divisional round, lose against the Bills.
Yes, and I'm gonna start with you, Christopher. I mean Douglas.
Well, so here's the thing. If I'm thinking about who do I trust more, C.J. Stroud or Trevor Lawrence in a big moment, I'm gonna take Mr. Trevor Lawrence.
You want to play?
So that's my main logic between giving them a 6 and Jacksonville the 7. Because I just think that like the Texans defense is going to be awesome again. They have pieces, but is C.J. Stroud going to throw like 8 more interceptions every big game? Like when is he going to be a playmaker in a big moment? Like I feel like they had a chance last year, and all he had to do was just play like decent, and they had a good chance of making a run last year, and it's just like. I don't know. So I think like maybe I'll go with an 11-6 as well, but I think that they're going to be the wild card.
Yes, and now finally we got Tree right over here. What do you think? Can they win another playoff game right over here? Are they going to go 4 for 4 and making playoffs and winning it?
Well, their defense is phenomenal. They got Judevi and Clowney. They still have everyone returning for the most part. Guarantee, can C.J. Stroud return to his rookie form? That's the difference between them and a Super Bowl. I think they can win at least one game, but going further, if C.J. Stroud shits his pants again like he did last year for 2 playoff games, I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, I think I would give them a 7, but at the same time, C.J. Stroud, does he hold them back? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, granted, Geno Smith hold Seattle back, and looks what happens. You change up a quarterback, and then it's game-changing. But also, I should say, Tree, what do you think their record's going to be right over here?
I would say probably 12-5.
12-5.
Defense.
Yeah, that defense is phenomenal. I know their offense, I think last year they were ranked 18th in the NFL right over here, so maybe we can hopefully see an improvement. We'll see how it goes on this one, indeed. And look at this, gentlemen. We got all 8 teams reviewed. And, gentlemen, do you have any final thoughts right over here?
Let's go
It's
Cleveland
like-
Browns.
Well,
Yeah.
still, let's go Super Bowl, I guess. I think.
Yes, let's go. Let's go. Steelers go Super Bowl, 9-8 Super Bowl, or Steelers just gonna go playoff and then get their ass kicked as always.
Joey
Yeah,
Burrow
maybe
about
Mike
to prove
McCarthy
wrong.
will win a Super Bowl in Pittsburgh like he couldn't
Oh,
do
God,
in
no.
Dallas.
No,
Oh,
well,
God,
he did
no.
one in Green Bay, so.
Yeah, but let's be honest, that was Aaron Rodgers. That was not Mike McCarthy. Let's be honest.
I mean, he has Aaron Rodgers right now.
Just
Yeah.
saying.
Let's ignore the fact that they had a massive falling out in 2018. But
Yeah, that's what I'm also thinking. I'm like, wait a minute, didn't they have a huge falling out? I'm like, how is this going to work? I know it's 8 years, but still.
Got to rekindle old friendships.
Aaron Rodgers has done a lot of self-reflecting over these last 5 years or so.
Yeah, when he was in the forest smoking opium and he's
A different man. He's matured.
that's right.
He's unfortunately matured physically too, and doesn't really have it anymore. So give me the Bengals still.
Please, God. So, Douglas and Chris, do you have any final thoughts?
Oh, those are my final thoughts right there. Heck yeah. I'm excited
Heck yeah.
for the NFL season to start. Got this upcoming Thursday. So actually, no, that's tomorrow. The Hall of Fame game. Carolina Panthers versus the Arizona Cardinals.
Wow. And you know what I'm going to say? You know how many minutes I'm going to watch that NFL game? 0, because I don't care about preseason.
I mean, Kenny Pickett, though, for the Carolina
hey, Kenny Pickett versus Carson Beck.
That's
Come
right.
on. Come on. This is the stuff dreams are made of, sir.
The NFL is giving the people what they want. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes. I'm so excited for Kenny Mittens to drop the ball, as always. Just saying.
Hey, don't talk shit about Kenny Pickett. He's a terrible quarterback, but he's my terrible quarterback. Don't make fun of my Kenny Pickett.
Just,
Man, it's
just
such
always.
a shame that Carson Beck had to take a pay cut to play in this game.
I mean, yeah, true. He was making more money at Georgia, right, than in the NFL.
Well, he was offered something like $6 to $8 million to stay in college, but he chose to stay in. Well, that was Quinn Ewers, but still.
That is always there. But anyway, gentlemen, thank you so much. And also, I got to say, thank you so much, Tree, for coming back yet again for these podcasting. I always enjoy having you and having your thoughts right over here on the podcast.
Yes, thank
Absolutely.
you. Trey.
Pleasure to be on again, guys. Thank you.
Heck yeah. Yeah.
Yes, and I can't wait when we get to the postseason recap that we will still make fun of the Steelers once they get eliminated
and
in
the
the
Browns.
Oh,
postseason.
of course. Of course.
And the Browns. And or don't you mean the Cleveland Clowns? Just saying, Chris.
Exactly. I'm right there with you. I like
Factory
it.
sadness.
Factory set.
Stu, I'll send you the Venmo request right now for our bet.
Yes, I would like that. But anyway, that is it for this week's podcast. Next week, we're going to do the other AFCs. We're going to do the East and West, where we're going to end it up with the New England Patriots. And we're going to do all 32-team recaps right over here till we get to the Seattle Seahawks, who won the Super Bowl. And as always, gentlemen, I will catch you later, Mr. Gator. So as always, take care. Bye-bye.